Yak is live. From K, is it on your too?
I didn't put it on my Facebook. I'm going to share it to my Facebook.
So you shared it on the K and Fox?
And Fox, yes. How's everybody doing? Boy, we got a lot to talk about. I don't know if y'all have heard about this or not, but there's a winter storm coming.
And I are live. Time here.
This is some good music.
I know, right? Also, that.
Here's your chair. I got a lot going on over here.
Yeah, it's all right. Okay, so that's going to be Max 2. Max 1. Do you have Max 1 up over there you're going to be working from?
Yeah, I got Max 1, right? Yeah. I don't know where I'm going to start. It's like one of those things, where do you start, you know? And I think that's a good way to do it. Okay, everybody, thanks for coming in here and look at that stream or that ticker at the bottom. The reason why we do this on Facebook is to tell you you can ask our questions. This is what makes it interactive where we can answer your questions. But the way to watch the graphics we are talking about that are over our shoulder, if you want to see them, you will not see them on Facebook or on YouTube or anywhere on social media. You have to go to fox16.com, KARK.com and watch. Go to our news apps, KRK News app or the Fox 16 News app, or download our live streaming app, KRK Fox 16 Plus. All those different platforms, you can watch this with those graphics.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to be coming up here in just a few minutes here, so you'll be able to watch it there live. But again, you can interact there, comment.
Yeah,
I can't read your comments over here, so type. Well, yeah, you can pop them up.
Here, when will it all end? I'm assuming Tracy is talking about
Not
the
soon
winter
enough.
weather.
So the winter weather ends at some point Sunday.
When
the
Sunday?
Impacts linger, and that's part of the concern. We're going to go over all that here soon.
Teresa, Ashley County,
Teresa,
ice storm.
Teresa, and that's the reason why I've been so concerned about it's, there will be ice storm impacts, unfortunately, in that part of the state. We'll start the countdown.
Yeah. Ashley and Chico counties under ice storm warnings. And I think the big thing that we need to talk about is not just necessarily how much, but the impact. And the impact of this is serious for two reasons. Obviously, the winter weather, the other, the extreme cold.
Right. And, we're talking about ice storm impacts in southeast Arkansas, but northern Arkansas's heavy snow could be a problem as well. I mean, look, I know we love some snow, but that's going to be a lot of snow in some places.
It's going to weigh things down. You're talking about, I think our forecast is 6 to 10, but the data we've been looking at shows more than that.
Yeah. And, I think last year there were structure, like, I think there was a marina that collapsed in some case due to snow last year.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't be a bit shocked if we see some of that.
There's going to be a lot of damage, infrastructure damage. When you look at that and you look at hopefully everybody's off the roads, but you're going to have wrecks. Sadly, that's just something that's always going to happen. This is going to be an insurance company's nightmare.
Yeah.
Totally. Not only I'm not just talking for Arkansas, but all over the country.
Graphic that do you remember what that graphic is that that study?
I've got it in my show. I've got it in my show. I'll bring it up.
Okay, yeah. If you can just bring it up.
I'll bring it up during the show
at some point.
But most accidents in winter weather occur when there's minimal amounts of snow and ice.
Tomorrow night.
It's
going to be when people are thinking the roads are fine, and then when they start to go downhill, that's when you're going to have more accidents. Is when it's not Saturday when Saturday's going to be rough, but Saturday is going to be like good luck getting out of your driveway.
Yeah, good luck. There's no way you're going to be able to go fast either. So any accident's going to be like bump.
Bump.
It's
Yeah.
let's hope. Don't it's gonna be sort of like that.
All right, we're 10 seconds out, so let me get this ready.
It's good music.
Good Thursday afternoon to you. I'm Fox 16 Chief Meteorologist Joel Young here alongside.
Hold on.
Oh, yeah, you need a
I
microphone.
need a microphone, don't I?
Welcome to the show, Todd.
KRK Chief Meteorologist Todd Yacobian. It is great to have Joel back from vacation.
Yes, great. And vacation ended up being a lot of watching the models from home. I've never worked so hard from home in quite some time. At one point, I was like, do I need to come in? And I was like, you know what? Honestly, I need to get some rest leading up to
Mm-hmm.
this because this is, so I did
I
take
think you
that
should.
time off, but I did.
I think you should go to the boss and see if you can maybe have one of those vacation days back.
I'm
At
making
least
them up.
one.
We're gonna get comp days this weekend.
That's
I mean,
true.
look,
There's no such thing as those, by the way.
I know. All things considered, in all seriousness, we've got a significant winter storm, and the way I've been kind of describing it is Central Arkansas is going to be in the battleground between a major snowstorm and what looks to be also maybe a major ice storm. And I know Todd is, it's
we have thoughtful discussion about what we think is going to happen. Okay, so we have the best case scenario, we have the worst case scenario, but no matter what, somebody's going to be yelling at us.
totally.
I guarantee by 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, somebody's going to be yelling, "You said it was going to be snowing right now." No, we didn't. It's not until Friday night. But as Joel was saying, to back to the fact, Joel's very concerned, and I see what he's saying, and I agree. The concern for significant freezing rain, a lot of freezing rain. It's just, where does that boundary set up?
Yeah, and it's going to be tough. And I think, when we say where is that boundary going to set up, at what time of this event? It is a long duration event. We're talking about perhaps close to 48 hours, 24 to
Right.
48 hours of this stuff coming down. So that boundary we're talking about, it's going to deviate. It's going to move throughout the entire storm time.
Right. And let's just say that you start off as snow, you won't stay snow. And if you start out as sleet, you're not going to stay sleet. I mean, you are going to bounce around in some portions of central Arkansas from one precipitation type to the other, back and forth, back and forth.
There may be some spot. I think if there was any spots that I think that gets pure snow, north, far north. I do think that maybe even there could be some sleet that mixes in times, maybe as far north as Clinton.
Yes.
Maybe even a little farther north at times. So there may be, but the thing is, you're going to have so much snow that sleet is not going to, the farther north you get, that sleet is going to have less of an impact on your snow totals. Now, you get south of Highway 64, you get into central Arkansas, and then, that you're talking maybe some sleet. And we're going to talk about what the difference is, especially between sleet and freezing rain here in a minute. But then you get south of Highway 270, especially south of Highway 278, southeast of Highway 79. Then you're talking ice storm potential. And the question and the concern that I have, and I get that Todd and I have discussed this, and Todd makes great points. This could be a lot of sleet in central Arkansas, but we've got to cover our bases in case that melting layer gets a little deeper in central Arkansas. Then what? And how long does that last?
So what I've been saying is, and I'm thinking, of course, the freezing rate, there's going to be a layer aloft that's substantial in some parts of the state where it's above freezing. But there's also a layer beneath that that's substantially below
really
freezing.
cold.
Really cold. So,
and I totally understand. I mean, that to get freezing rain in the teens
I've never
is
seen
so difficult. And I don't even think, the 1994 ice storm is the storm that got me into weather. If you're in southeast Arkansas and you're watching in Ashley County, if you're
somebody brought
older
that
than
up.
I am, you know what I'm talking about. I don't even think it was in the teens then. I think it was 20s.
It was.
I don't remember. I mean, I
wouldn't doubt it.
I was 5 or 6.
Yeah, I've never seen
I was just 5.
freezing rain and in the teens. Not saying it can't happen.
I want to say that there were what did y'all have in 1994?
It was all sleet in 94 in central Arkansas. It was southeast Arkansas got the freezing rain.
The placement of this is very similar in many ways.
I remember the sleet in February 1994. The sleet was piled up like 4 inches in Little Rock. about 3 or 4 inches of sleet in Little Rock. And I remember because I dislocated my shoulder in that storm.
Yeah, you did. I've heard that
Yeah,
story.
and I mean, that's
You
what's going to
still you
happen.
fell down some stairs or something?
Yeah,
Was it? Yeah.
I was at the grocery store, Colony West.
There's so many facets to this, and so I mean, we got to talk about sliding. Like look, if you can, and I know not everybody can, but stay home in this if you can.
Hmm.
Make sure you're ready to stay home for a while. Be prepared for power outages. Let's hope you don't lose power. Todd, I wouldn't be shocked if there are power outages even in northern Arkansas from the snow.
From the snow, the way of the snow. This is going to have impacts, impacts, and impacts. And if we
And that's
can,
really, really what we
go
want to
go to
focus
go to
on.
Weather Graphics computer number one, and let's get to this. First of all, you see here that the entire state is under a winter storm warning, except for 2 counties in southeast Arkansas, which is an ice
Ice
storm
storm
warning.
warning.
Look how far north it goes. It's from New Mexico all the way up to southeast Maine. I mean, that
Gosh.
is absolutely incredible. So we need to talk
Mhm.
about the impacts for everybody before we get.
Oh,
Huh?
I think she. I think I know. I think she's saying that this is no longer streaming on your Facebook Live. She's streaming our graph. Maybe. Hold on. I'll have to look and
There's
see.
okay. Well, I guess it doesn't matter much anyway. She can do whatever she wants to with that. I mean,
I think there
she's in
was some
control.
miscommunication there, or
Yeah.
that's not what I meant to do. Well.
James Spann pops up, of course.
Let's see what we've got going here.
Okay,
All right.
let me just, if you can. Okay, so there they go. The impacts, the winter storm
Yeah.
impacts.
This is streaming live, and this is actually I love to see this because this is what I
Yes.
think a lot of people would rather see anyway, and so I can try to keep an eye on the comments over here too. Um, but yes, going back to the impacts, you can see here across the top power outages. We've got medium, and Todd, I took southeast off, and I know you had south. I can maybe say south. I
Hmm.
wonder, and we're going to show the map that we just drew out here in a moment, but at some point, I feel like we might get to a point we got, okay, do we need to put power outages at high? I'm not ready to put that
No,
yet.
but the closings, I would put it extreme, but it's happening on a weekend, so it's like things are already
That's
schools are
true.
already closed.
There's a lot of events. You've got the Big Buck Classic was going on this
That's
weekend.
right. The Harlem
That's
Globetrotters, I
canceled.
don't know about that
Oh,
either.
I didn't even, yeah, I
I don't know
forgot
what
about
happened.
that. There's a lot of weekend events that just can't happen. Not gonna happen. They're not, I mean, it's just getting around is going to be very difficult
Right.
this weekend. So that's why we have the travel at extreme. Closings is high, would be extreme if it was during the week. And honestly, I think that could go still extreme because we have an alert day now for Monday. Monday for the extreme cold. This stuff, it ain't going nowhere for a little while.
Right. No, it's it's going to be on the ground for
We're
quite
going
some
to be
time.
living with this for a
Travel,
little while.
and again, this is so important that we focus on the impacts of this. Travel is going to be messed up across the state, and the prolonged period of sub-freezing air. It begins tomorrow evening when we go below freezing, which is around 6 or 7 o'clock. We go below freezing, and we stay there until probably Tuesday or Wednesday. And then you got the extreme temperatures, and they've issued this doesn't happen often, an extreme cold warning for most of the state.
And that wind chill, -5 to -15, that's most likely Monday morning. But even during the daytime, look, I know, let's say we're getting snow. Northern Arkansas will be getting snow. When it's snowing, people want to get outside. You're going to find it extremely difficult to stay outside
Mhm.
during the snow and after the snow. That extreme cold, and we're going to go through wind chills here in a moment, but that's going to be something. Here's the feels like temperatures starting around the time those extreme cold warnings go out. That's Friday night, Saturday morning. It feels like 10. Y'all, the wind chill goes down during the day to the single digits on Saturday. This is while the precip is coming down. Snowing gangbusters in northern Arkansas. What does that mean?
I don't know.
You
A
say
lot.
that a lot, and I like it. It sounds
It
good, but
sounds like it's something
it's
from the
I
1920s,
know. I'm
doesn't it?
like, what does that mean? But
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
The terminology. But I'd much rather have snow, obviously, in this case. But
That's the best case
I
scenario.
mean, look, northern Arkansas it's gonna be snowing gangbusters with a wind chill of 1.
But look at
Mount.
the orientation of the contours with that, how they go from northeast to southwest. That's the cold Arctic air drilling down the east side of the Ozarks. And you can see
Yeah.
that from Jonesboro down to Camden. So that cold air is
It's
getting
kind of
funneled.
blocked being by the
Right.
mountains, yeah.
And then you look at Fort Smith, 12. I mean, the cold air is obviously everywhere.
And Sunday morning, wind chills are down below zero in northern Arkansas. But as we get into Sunday night and Monday morning, that is when,
That's
I
actually
mean,
better than the model data from yesterday. It was showing
let's
23 below zero.
I saw some 20s below zero earlier. Earlier the European had that. I mean, this is incredible cold. And then even beyond that, we may not get above freezing for, I mean, Wednesday maybe, Tuesday could be.
Well, the models will have a very difficult time because of snow and ice on the ground. The other thing to consider, Joel, is that you have a huge snowpack to the north of Arkansas that the air is going to be traveling down. So, you have a wind out of the north during this. It could be even colder over that
Sure.
snowpack than what's being
What
represented
models
here.
are suggesting, yeah.
Right. And then that's also into consideration with the next surge of Arctic air later next week. That's
Right.
another consideration you have to have.
Something before we get to moving on about other facets of this storm. Let's talk about the three P's. I know there's four P's. Plants. I think by now most tropical plants they're inside at this
They
point.
bit the
Nobody
dust if
they've
they're
already either
outside.
bit the dust or they're inside already. But let's talk about the three P's. People, check on your neighbors, the elderly, people experiencing homelessness. That's there are a lot of people who, may not have the means to stay warm like
You know,
everybody else. If you are capable of lending out a helping hand, we're going to have to help each other out
when
through
we
this
had
thing.
that Arctic blast in early December, my wife and I went through our stuff and I found a bunch of old coats. We just went out to places and we're like, here's a coat, here's a coat. If you can, help your neighbors. And
Sure.
there are those that are very less fortunate that just down on life right now and help them out.
Absolutely. Pets. I mean, look, if you're cold, they're cold. You will be cold. They will be cold. Please take care of those pets. And not just that, but also livestock. And this is going to bring us into another conversation. I grew up with cows. We always had to go out and break the water or break
Mm-mm.
the ice on the ponds so that the livestock could get water. You got to keep those kids away from the ponds too.
Yes, disasters happen all the
That could
time.
be so dangerous, and we want to make sure. I mean, look, our ice is not going to be thick enough like it is up in Minnesota. They go ice fishing all the time. I remember I did a story one time in South Dakota. They sent me out with a camera. I was too scared to walk on the ice. They laughed at me because I was taught you stay off the ice at all
Hmm.
costs. It doesn't stay cold enough for us to,
For it to be
walk out on,
substantial.
to drive on. None of that's going to happen. Pipes, obviously this is
It's going to be a
there will be pipes that break in
Look,
this storm.
and if you don't take those precautions now, good luck on getting a plumber if something goes south. The plumbers are going to be in high demand. You don't want to fall into that
So true.
category. So make sure those are insulated. You drip your faucets and do all the open up cabinet doors so you let the warmer air from the house get underneath. If you have cabinet doors in your kitchen, your bathroom, and you need that warmer air to circulate in there.
And you can you even if you don't like so last year I was living in an older house, it was not as well insulated. There were a lot of drafts. I could find the draft. I just run my hand around the door, you can feel it. I went and just got some of the sealant, like
Hmm.
and I temporarily sealed that, cuz you only really needed for this storm, and then I took them off after. I was like, we'll be fine now, but
Right.
just got to get through this. Even, okay, think about this. How to efficiently warm your house. Are there rooms that aren't being used in your house?
Shut the
Shut
door.
those doors,
Yep.
put a towel down so that that warm air isn't getting into those rooms that you're not trying to keep warm. Um,
That's my office right there. So that
yeah,
door will be shut.
yeah, so drip your faucets, insulate your pipes. I'm trying to think of anything else. Something else. If you live in South Arkansas, we're going to talk more about the precip types here in a minute. But if you're in South Arkansas, think about where you're sleeping.
Hmm.
If you got a big tree that hangs over your house,
I know where you're going with
where
that.
are you parking? There will probably be tree damage in South Arkansas. Southeast Arkansas,
Southeast Arkansas.
especially.
Yeah,
Could some of that get into South Central Arkansas?
possibly.
Very
That's
possible.
that's the worry is how far north does that get? Could it
Yeah.
even get into central Arkansas? That is a concern. Right now, we think there's a better chance for sleep, but there is that door, that window that's open for getting as far north as Little Rock. And these are the sleet and precipitation types. What you want is on the right side, all snow. Actually,
And
Joel,
even
go to
sleep.
max 1 on this.
Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, you kinda broke it
Yeah,
down.
so
Okay.
in South Arkansas, on the left side, that's the problem. You have snow aloft, but then you have a large area which is represented in red as temperatures above freezing, but that's way above our head, way above our head. And then that area just below that near the ground is goes below freezing, but it's very narrow. It's very shallow. So it doesn't have time to freeze into a sleet pellet and it's just liquid. And once it hits something on the ground, a tree, a power line, deck, whatever, it freezes on contact and it's pure ice. What you want in these situations are the middle one and the right one, the central North Arkansas one, where that warm layer is more aloft and that sub-freezing air is deeper at the surface for sleet. And the best case scenario out of this situation is on the right, northern Arkansas, where the most of that is going to be below freezing and it's pure snow. So those are South Arkansas freezing rain, Central Arkansas sleet and some snow. And this isn't saying that you're going to get only sleet. No, it's going to go back and forth because that warm layer aloft is going to change over time during this event.
And, yeah, it's gonna back off, it's gonna come in and, it's gonna be back and forth at times. So, but, you mentioned you wanna have more snow, obviously, that would be ideal. That's gonna be still a lot of snow. And
Mhm.
so, eh, could sleet be, in a way, your best case scenario in terms of power outages?
Yes.
Because and we can use your demonstration here,
Okay.
Todd.
So let's say you have 1 inch of water that we have to deal with hypothetically. So we look at how much water is going to be produced out of the atmosphere. Then we have to convert that 1 inch of water. That's a hypothetical. We'll have more than that actually. Then you have to convert that into different types of wintry weather. Well, if you convert 1 inch of water to sleet,
Mhm.
okay, 1 inch of water, let's just pretend this is 2 inches.
Yeah.
These are BBs here. So you get 2 inches, okay? Now you convert that 1 inch of water to snow and you get six
So
inches
it
of
piles
snow,
up a lot more, and so that's the reason why,
okay?
that same amount of moisture.
So you see the difference in the precipitation type. When you get 1 inch of water, you get sleet that's a couple of inches deep. You get 1 inch of water and it's all snow, it's 6 inches. But let's say you get both. Watch what happens when you put sleet on the snow.
Oh, nice.
What happens?
It compacts
It
it.
compacts.
Very good demonstration. I didn't know that was where you're gonna go with that. But something else I wanna mention, and we don't have and I wouldn't, but
It cuts into your snow
if
amounts.
I were to use this analogy, if you will, to freezing rain, I would probably use glue.
That's good. Little
I'm
Elmer's.
not gonna use glue in this, it gets messy, but hey, my brother did a science fair project after the 1994 ice storm, and he just got glue and glued a tree branch, to
Hmm.
demonstrate how that works. And it's just it weights it down, and so it's it's not as it doesn't pile up. I mean, it does pile up relatively, but it's not going to pile up like
Just
sleet and snow.
I mean, we know how heavy, you have those jugs of water that you put, so, I don't know, the spring water you put in those coolers, water coolers. That's like a 5 gallon jug. Okay.
Yeah,
Think of
it's
that five.
heavy.
It's heavy. Now multiply that by, I don't know how much for an entire tree.
Or a power line, just a single power pole.
Yeah.
Can
It's
carry on or it can only hold so much weight. So uh, this is the preset types. I wanted to also show here. Um, this is a graphic that was posted by our friend John Lewis, who is a retired National Weather Service meteorologist,
I don't know if he
and
likes the word retired because he's still pretty young.
he's still working. He's still
Yes, he is.
definitely got his hands in it, and really watching it. And he did put this on his page and he told us we're welcome to use it. I was about to kind of start pulling these, and I was like, well, he's already put it together.
This is the scientific
This is
version.
this is
You need to
how.
switch it over to the
Excuse me.
live stream. This is the scientific version of that.
So we've got three vertical soundings. This gives you the temperature throughout the entire layer of the atmosphere. Monticello on the left, Little Rock in the middle, Harrison on the right. Now, if you look here, there is a line that has 32 degrees on each one of these, and you're looking at that greenish red line there. Do you see how in Monticello, it's on the right side of that dotted white line that says 32? It's on the right side for a while. That's your melting layer. That's a solid melting layer with a shallow layer of cold air at the surface. That's freezing rain. Little Rocks is a little bit more of a shallow warm layer, but Todd, that's still a pretty deep warm layer there that we've got here.
It's rather thick, but
It's a
also but so is the cold air at the surface. It's more
cold air.
substantial.
You're exactly
So it's
right.
like
So
trying to figure this thing out
it's
as
also oozing in,
Mhm.
this whole time. So is there any, is yeah, there's so many questions here.
What you
Then
want
at
is the
Harrison,
Harrison
what you want
sounding.
is Harrison because it's on the left side. You can solidly say it's snow. But our concern is that at times that melting layer in central Arkansas could be deep enough that it completely melts the snow and then refreezes it as ice. Could be on top of existing snow already. I would not be a bit shocked, and we're going to walk you through some of the. Well, first of all, I'm just going to walk you through snowfall accumulation according to the graph.
And then I'm gonna pull up. I got the new 18Z run of the graph, so you go ahead with that.
Okay, so this is.
I
Oh, you
love the.
actually have like pre. So look, overnight into or overnight Friday into Saturday morning,
I love
you're
this
getting
model for
snow
winter weather.
accumulations. Yeah, graph shows a
It's
lot
very
of
good,
snow for central Arkansas. But look,
and it's a good model.
it is a good model. It's actually handled winter weather really well this
Mhm.
year. But look, there's a huge footprint of snow there. You're maybe getting snow in South Arkansas for a little while, but here's Saturday at
Wait,
around.
remember it doesn't see sleet though.
Also true. Also true. This particular model is not going to tell us how much sleet there
Mm-mm.
is. Some of that may be in, some of that's probably, what you're seeing here is probably sleet. And
So,
some of what I'm going to show on the ice accumulation graphic is also going to be sleet.
right.
That's what makes this really complicated. But so around Saturday at 11, yeah, there could be snow on the ground. But let's look at, not that one, let's look at ice accumulation. Friday night, okay, there might be a little bit of ice accumulation in South Arkansas. But then look at how as we get into that Saturday morning time frame, that spreads. That's a problem. And then
Oh,
it
it's a
starts to
problem.
creep. Actually, this run does not take it very far north, Todd.
See, I think it's latching onto that colder solution.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, that's
So it tries to
it.
do it
It does.
Saturday night for a little while. It might not be much, and at some point, maybe it switches back to
I'm willing
snow.
to bet most of that across northern Arkansas is sleet.
I can see that.
I can see most of that across
And
north is sleet.
I,
And you would have to double those amounts. So if it says 0.2, it'd be 0.4 inches of sleet.
but let's talk about southern Arkansas for a second. Real
That's the
talk.
problem. Yeah.
DeQueen, Arkadelphia, Carthage, Camden, Pine Bluff, Rison, Star City, uh, and all those places south. We have ice storm warnings already for Ashley and Chico County. Do those need to be issued any farther north? Let's just look at what impacts you would be facing if you had a quarter of an inch of ice. You'd have some tree damage, perhaps. Even at a quarter of an inch of ice, slick roads, signed, sealed, delivered. That's going to be a problem. Few
Signed,
out.
sealed, delivered. Oh yeah. Sorry.
I was doing that in my head.
Yeah, no, I just said that part out loud.
But when you get a quarter to a half inch, that's disruptive. You're going to have some power outages. You're going to have more ice covered roads. You're going to have more tree damage. But you get over a half inch, it's critical. And then you get beyond that, and you're talking crippling. And if you do get an inch of ice, doesn't matter if you got snow in there as well.
By the
That
way,
can be a problem.
Harlem Globetrotters is canceled.
Yeah.
Boss just texted me that. Let's go over to forecast track. And I also want to remind you too about our newscasts 4, 5, 5:30, 6, 6:30, and 10, 9 and 10. There's so many of them.
Yeah.
We're debuting Thunder.
Oh, yeah.
We're debuting our mobile weather center. It's a
Big
storm
blue
chase
light there.
vehicle. We're debuting Thunder. All right, here's forecast track. This is at 6 o'clock tomorrow. Now remember, most of tomorrow the temperatures are falling. It's windy, but this is the graph which Joel was just showing you. And the graph which you see in peach, it doesn't know the difference between sleet and freezing rain. So some of that, especially in southern Arkansas, may be freezing rain, but I think a lot of that's going to be sleet to begin with initially. So the leading edge of that looks snowy, 7 o'clock out in western Arkansas, and it's showing a time period around 6 or 7, 6 or 7 for it to begin in the metro.
Yeah.
Sorry, I couldn't resist.
No, you're good.
And then look at the,
So that comes in a little earlier than the last run, right?
But by 9 o'clock, you got snow coming down, you got sleet overspreading central and southern Arkansas. So, and I'm looking at this for the first time, by the way. So look how close the sleet and snow line is that to the metro. That's why this is horribly difficult in the metro to figure out how much is sleet and how much is snow, and why I wanted to do this demonstration, because it changes everything. It changes all of your amounts. If you get more sleet or if you get more snow, it all changes, which makes this so difficult. That's at 1 o'clock in the morning. Then we go to 5 o'clock in the morning. It's 13 degrees, and you got snow in northern Pulaski County and ice in southern Pulaski County.
It's going to be a lot colder than last year's snow. Last year's snow was around 31, 32 degrees, right around the entire duration of the snow, right? If I remember
I
correctly.
can't remember what
I
happened
just remember
yesterday.
it was not this cold.
And
This is
this is
incredibly cold.
But remember, this is guidance. This is not a
Yeah, but
forecast. But if 13 degrees is realized in Little Rock, I don't think we're having freezing rain. I've never seen freezing rain at 13 degrees. I have at 24 degrees,
yeah.
24 down to southern Arkansas. I absolutely have. And that's when you get your bad ice storms. So now watch, it's going to warm up aloft. Then we go back. It shows us going back to some ice, some sleet, possibly freezing rain back into the metro.
So
So we're
this
going
is
back and
Saturday
forth
morning. Does this now have a break in the precip Saturday?
with
A
wave
little bit
number
of
two.
so there's kind of two waves, and there's question as to whether it really stops in between those waves or if
That's
it
what the
just kind of
graph has.
slacks off a little bit. Does South Arkansas keep getting the okay?
Here
All
comes
right,
wave
graph.
number two.
And there's two.
And that, my goodness,
That has
that's sleet in the teens. Freezing rain south. It could be freezing rain central. So the temperature rises. Do you think the temperature is going to rise Saturday night? Because is it seeing the precipitation coming down
yes,
so
Todd,
hard?
because you're getting a closed low, and that warm conveyor belt is starting to crank up a little bit more.
With a
That's
northeast
becoming a
wind?
little bit
With a northeast
shallow.
wind at the
You get a cold, shallow layer, and so that's oozing the cold air south. So you get slow cold air advection.
but the temperature's coming up at
Temperatures
night.
coming up, yeah.
Is it pulling down the warm air aloft because the precipitation is so heavy?
See, look, I mean, this is by far the most complicated type of weather that we have to deal with, and so it's
How do temperatures rise from 13 to 22 at night with
with
Arctic air?
precip coming down too.
It's got to be seeing the warmer air aloft getting dragged down, I would think. See,
We got to look at. I wish we
okay.
had soundings for that.
Okay, but
Then it
but
may
then the Saturday and the Sunday morning on the back side of this,
there may be thunder freezing rain in southeast Arkansas. By the way, with that last little round,
yeah, and there it is. That's the end of the new run. It's so complicated.
it's
Oh,
a doozy, y'all.
it's a whopper.
So, look, this is where we kind of, in a sense, I don't like. First off, I had somebody comment on my Facebook the other day. They were like, "Just admit it. You don't know what's going to happen." I will admit there are a lot of things we don't know, but if you're wanting us to just give up, that ain't happening.
How does it go from 11 degrees Saturday morning to 22 degrees Saturday night?
And that's where I say, Todd, all those numbers are below freezing, and no matter what's coming down,
It's impactful.
It's impactful.
No matter what.
This is a map that, by the way, we just put together. We've updated this a little bit. Northern Arkansas, 6 to 10 inches plus. There will probably be a few spots, maybe many spots, that get over a foot of snow.
Mm-hmm.
And heavy snow.
It's 3:29, and
Yeah,
I
we
want to
gotta
make
wrap
sure
this up.
everybody knows we're going to be doing this again at 7 o'clock. Okay,
Yes.
at 7 o'clock, Arkansas Storm Team live on all our platforms except for TV, but the digital platforms will be live again.
But they're in southern Arkansas there. Impactful ice is very possible, along with a little bit of sleet. Again, we're going to have our regular scheduled programs tonight. Be sure to stay tuned. Thank you so much for tuning in and trusting the Arkansas Storm Team. We'll go ahead and wrap this up.
And for everybody on social media here, a lot of you are, I saw some people saying, I can't see the graphics. Well, this is not intended for you to see the graphics. This is for questions. And I'm sorry we couldn't get to many of them, but download the Arkansas Storm Team app. But to watch the graphics, there's so many different ways. Our websites, we have two websites, krk.com, fox16.com. We have two news apps.
Is this even still streaming?
Yeah, on Twitter and
on
on
Twitter,
X and
okay.
on YouTube. And it's still got 28, 27. Okay,
Alright.
so news app and the KRK and Fox 16 news apps, and then the live streaming app, KRK Fox 16 Plus, Roku, Fire TV, Samsung, Apple TV, all available on those platforms.
Yeah. Thank y'all so much for following along. We'll get through this together.
I'm tired. See ya.
Already, we got a long